What's up, everyone? Garage 79R putting in work on the Starlet. I'm blocking with the ladder here. Getting this wrapped up. Well, I still got a lot to do, but the turbo system's pretty much done. I got to throw some clamps on it and whatnot. I had to build this intake. This was not fun. I really wish Sasha would have ran this runner differently to allow more room, because there's no real room there. So I made his intake work, made a support bracket. It's all sorted. Had to modify it so it takes this tile ball valve. And like this side of the kit fit, but the pipe coming off the turbo didn't fit at all. I can't see it down there. I don't have the coupler on there yet, but down there. Yeah, the pipe that he provided did not clear anything. I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be to fit a stock car, but it didn't. Anyway, no big deal. Made a new pipe, made it happen, connected the dots. My main reason of the video is the four doors at the shop. The reason why the four doors at the shop is because the motor is coming out of the four door and going in the convertible. So every time I drove the convertible, it didn't feel great. It ran and drove, but the motor did not feel good. Let me get out of this wind. The motor did not feel good, and it always ran hot. I changed like the thermostat. It did have a kind of a jank thermostat. Put a known good one in there. It'd still get hot, but at least it would kind of recover if you let off. Like just steady state cruising, it would want to go 220 degrees. I think one time it did hit like 230. I mean, you shouldn't do that. Those motors are supposed to cruise at like 184. So, I know that motor's been going through and it looked all right, but we don't know the clearances. We don't know how good Bob's engine work is done. Yeah, I don't know who did it. I'm just making up a name, but let's get over here away from the heater. But it doesn't give me a warm fuzzy feeling. It does. The motor doesn't sound really right when you're cruising around. Also, it gets kind of rattly, and that's even before it gets hot. It just kind of doesn't feel right. It just didn't feel right, and it doesn't seem like a normal. A typical E series runs pretty smooth, and usually the only noise is like the timing belt whirl. They have this kind of whirl to them. I don't know how to explain it. If you know it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's like the only noise they make. So, we're the tail of the dragons in a couple weeks. We're supposed to be driving these freaking things down there, and I don't trust that motor to drive down there even if it didn't have a turbo. So I made the executive decision to go ahead and switch motors. I just don't trust it, and the motor in the four is got 257,000 miles on it, but it ran and it sounded decent. The last time I ran, go figure, when I went to try to get it here, the fuel pump died, so it wouldn't run. But was running a couple weeks ago, because I had let it. Because every once in a while, I'll just let it run and heat cycle, run the fan a few times and just let things get circulated. So it's not a perfect motor. I'm sure the valve seals need to be done because it does smoke a little bit, but I also think the rings are probably just a little gummed up from not really being used. So hopefully some abuse and some good oil changes later will clean up. Dustin still has plans for a different motor for that car eventually, but we just don't have time to do that play now. So I got a whole bunch of stuff coming for the four-door motor. Got new timing belt set, new seals, blah, blah, blah. Just give it a quick birthday. We'll switch them out. I have to, of course, change the oil pan and the flywheel and stuff like that because it's got the convertible's got an ASCO aluminum flywheel. So, but that's what's going on. But now with the four door sitting here, it's got my mind going what to do with the four door. When it's been kind of stashed in my garage, I could kind of just ignore that it's just sitting there, and it doesn't cost me anything just to sit on it. But now that it's sitting outside, it's going to bug me a little bit. I still like the idea of building the ultimate daily driver, but really the Yaris already is the ultimate daily driver. So I've been wanting to build another track day car, this time with like proper safety equipment, roll cage, harness, all that stuff, because I got something to live for now. I got a daughter, so back 10 years ago when I used to do tracking and stuff, I was like, whatever. If I die, I die. Now I'm like, I want to see her grow up. So um, I'm leaning towards making that a track day car with some sort of 1NZ. Probably take this 1NZ I got sitting here next to me underneath a pile of boxes and maybe throw some rods in it and some cams. I don't know yet. It's definitely not a this year project because after I get caught up with all this stuff, I'm working on the Malibu. The Malibu's got to get done. So I don't know. Let me, tell me in the comments what do you think I should do with the four door. So I'm leaning towards streetable, but like track day car. Roll cage, blah blah blah. Nothing, at least not off the bat. No big horsepower or anything like that. Just put a good drive line in it and send it. Another part of me thought about making it more like a street sleeper, like a turbocharged 1NZ drag oriented car. But I don't know. I don't need another like street car, but they all need to be have tags on them so I can get them to the track because I don't have a trailer. So I don't know. What do you think? It's a shame because the interior in it's actually decent after I cleaned it out, and it's like I don't want to really cut the car up, but it does have some rust in some spots, so it's not a perfect car. It's got a crappy hood. So somebody puts something on the roof, so the roof's not perfect. So it's like, it's decent enough to warrant using, but not too decent where I don't mind using it thoroughly. So I don't know. Put a suggestion down in the comments. Let me know what you think I should do. So realistically, it's a next year project. I'll get the motor out sometime this week, and we'll take a good look at things. There's some rust from like the battery, stuff like that. I gotta see how bad it is. I've only been underneath the car once, and that was 4 years ago. So I don't remember exactly what's lurking underneath there, but I'm pretty sure the car was actually still pretty decent underneath. So anyway, see you guys on the next one.